keep it 1 for 100. My man keep it 1 for 100. My ladies keep it 1 for 100. My peoples keep it 1 for 100.
100.
Welcome to Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports on this Sunday afternoon. Big time Sunday, last day of the month. Beginning into October. Leaves starting to fall off the trees. People starting putting pumpkins out.
Hoodie weather.
Hoodie weather. Not just for Halloween, but for Thanksgiving. And I love Thanksgiving. You guys can look at me and tell I love to eat. But hey, welcome to Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports, like I said, on this Sunday afternoon with my man Big E. What's up, Big E?
Oh, nothing much. Just another beautiful day.
In the neighborhood. Sooner neighborhood. Well, folks, like I said, we'll have a special guest today. We'll have Jordan Davis, the man on from Daily, Oklahoma. He'll be joining us. Yeah. Yes, that's what we do here, folks, at Keep It 100. We get everybody on. Chris Evans, Daily, Oklahoma. Okay, Prep. That's what we do. We give love to everybody. They might not give us the same love, but we give love back. I don't know how you do it.
Little heart? You
gotta go. Heart? Yeah. There you go. We give love back. We give it back because that's what we do over here at Keep It 100. But, folks, we're going to let my man speak on his OU recap. But also, you can check him out on Friday mornings, right?
That is right. On Spotify and YouTube at the Sooner Summary podcast. So, yeah.
Give him some love. It's his own show. And you can also catch me on every Thursday morning. This week it might be a little bit different because we're going live. We're going to have a coach on, a special guest on from Jones, a new head coach from Jones, Lady Longhorns. Even though Jenny with the green jacket left, they got another lady. She might have a white jacket, so we'll find out when we talk to her on Wednesday. But we probably drop it on Thursday because we're going to go live and have the headphones on and make it a little bit more professional. So you can catch us between the lines on Oklahoma Girls High School basketball basketball with me and Coach V. But like I said, we're going to get this party jumping, and we're going to start it with Big E talking a little OU recap.
Yeah. You hear that, Tony? Do you hear that?
Boomer!
What's that sound like?
Sooners!
Sounds like that Sooner Magic, baby.
Sooner Magic.
Big E, Big E. It's alive and well.
Big E, I'm not going to lie to you. I was home alone. I watched the Oklahoma State game, and when OSU gets beat, I love to text my OSU Cowgirls, not Cowboys, because they play like Cowgirls, and let them know how bad their team is doing. So, when you do that and your team got to play a little bit after them, you better hope your team don't get beat because they're going to do the same thing to you.
I was doing the same thing.
And so, Roman, Chris Mulaski, I don't mess with Coach Jones because he has to do the sports animal show.
Sports animal, yep.
So I can't really beat up on him. But you OSU Cowgirls, we bring back Ollie. He supposed to be good. He ain't done nothing. You bring back the quarterback that throws off his back foot. He's 47 years old. He needs to be in retirement. And Gundy, he's too busy dyeing his hair. Don't know what's wrong with them Cowgirls up there. They got to get it fixed. But we ain't going to worry about them because we're going to talk about the ones that did win, like them OU Sooners. Talk about them.
Really, well, it was fun for like the first quarter. And then it wasn't fun again until like halfway through the fourth quarter. But, Michael Hawkins comes right out the gate, hits a 40-something yard touchdown run. And I thought at that point, I was like, oh, yeah, we're rolling. We're about to pour it on them. I thought it wasn't even going to be close. And then, Auburn starts hitting big plays on offense as well. I mean, honestly, that's probably the best game offensively they've had all year outside of they beat, was it New Mexico or something like that? They beat them like 41-19, something like that. But, they've had their own offensive struggles, and really their offense didn't play too terrible of a game. They just turned the ball over in the worst situations. So, I really thought it was going to be a game that OU was going to run away with after seeing how quickly they scored. They hit that little screen pass to Brennan Thompson. It went for like 15, 16 yards, and then another couple plays, and then Michael Hawkins scores that long run. But, it wasn't a perfect game from OU, not at all. Both sides of the ball struggled for a majority of the game. Auburn was able to gash some runs, get some long runs on our defense, and hit some big big passes as well down the field. So, but I think they ended up. I think it was almost 500 yards of total offense for Auburn. So there's some. I mean, knowing BV and how he coaches that defense, I mean, I think he's gonna. They're going into a bye week this week. They'll. I mean, they got to get it all straightened out before they play Texas in a couple weeks. But, yeah. I was down in Lindsay working on a story for school. My dad and a few of his friends were hosting a flying event down there, so I was getting some footage and covering that, and I'm kind of watching the game as I'm doing it. And so I wasn't really able to watch all of the game. I was only able to watch bits and pieces. I was able to watch pretty much the whole fourth quarter. But, yeah, from what I did see, I mean, for Michael Hawkins' first start in a hostile environment, I mean, you couldn't really have asked for much better from a true freshman. No. I mean, he was composed the whole time. He was making plays happen. Granted with like a whole second string wide receiver core and a banged up O-line, they were able to do enough to get the win. And that's really all that matters. And then Kip Lewis, I mean, he had a great game.
He don't get a lot of their conditions. I mean, he should be up for one of these awards, top linebacker. But, the 4 games they played in, he's been a playmaker in any game. And so is number 32, Thomas.
Oh, yeah, R. Mason Thomas. See, I don't know why, but, like, he only shows up in the fourth. Like, he shows up when you need him. I don't know why. I mean, Zach Alley, you got to dial up some plays earlier in the game for that guy to come off the edge and do what he does. I mean, he's a closer. Trace Ford did play a really good game. Another guy, Robert Spears Jennings, he had a really good game as well. So Ethan Downs, he made some plays. I mean, really, the defensive line. I mean, they were playing pretty decent the whole game.
Does Walker know how to cover?
No, I think you got to get him off the field. I think
he runs like a lost chicken with his neck. He has a long neck, so he's never in position. I mean, even if a guy catches the ball, that's fine. That's part of being a DB. But when a guy catches the ball and leaves you, that's when we got problems. Because right now, no one is. I mean, he can't cover nobody. I mean, he probably couldn't cover Zoe or my granddaughter Ivy, and and not take that from because we'll be glad we need to get Gentry back. I think if you get Gentry back, it's going to help a lot. Like I said, I think the team is solid. Running back, we're still kind of banged up. Barnes did a pretty good job, but when like he talks about, they first come out, they look really, really good. They kind of run a little sweep and off the tackle, but it's still up the middle. Yeah. Like I said, you're not gonna be able to do that against anybody that watched that Alabama Georgia game.
Man, that was a crazy game.
And so OU's defense is good. They're gonna keep you in the ball game, and really truly, I mean, they gave up 21 points, but 2 of them was for long touchdown passes. And the defensive back wasn't both times. Defensive back wasn't in good position. If you can see, they get down on 4th and goal and they stop them. That tells you how good that defense. And the defense didn't play good. I mean, I watched one of Venables' little highlights, and they kept fighting in the fourth quarter. Like he said, they showed up, but I think they got a chance to do some things when you get some of the receivers back. That moved over the young man from Mustang over
Jacoby Johnson,
to receiver. Then Hester.
I mean, the good thing, like Hester played really good. I mean, he only had 3 catches, but did a lot with those 3 catches. Had 86 yards. I mean, he had that long throw. I mean, what a beautiful pass that was from Hawkins. Dropped it right in the bucket, right where he needed to. He was able to make some moves after the catch as well. I mean, good to see him show up. I think, he had that. He had those drop problems against Temple where he was dropping passes and stuff. Looks like he's kind of regained some confidence and belief in himself to go out there and make some plays. So, but yeah, and then good thing about this win. You go into the bye week with a win, with a lot of confidence, got a good momentum heading into the Red River Showdown. They're going to need as many people back as they can. You're going to need a Nick Anderson to get healthy, a Jalil Farouk. Gentry Williams.
I thought he was out for the season.
They haven't announced that. If that is the case, I don't think that's been announced. But I think it's a quad or a thigh issue.
So they should get the running back.
Tatum. Yeah, I think he just had a concussion. So
you should get him back. You should get number 6.
Burks
back.
Hopefully, I haven't heard much about his injury. Brennable said it was a soft tissue injury, which he says that a lot about a lot of the injuries. And what I think he's trying to say,
they might be back. They might not.
I think what he's trying to say when it's a soft tissue injury, I think he's just calling that player soft.
Undercover,
really
he's kind of soft.
Yeah, it's like I don't know,
but I thought. I mean, people could talk about the line. I thought the line did okay. They did better, and they're gonna keep getting better. You know, are they?
Well, what really impressed me about the line is like their pass defense. I mean, they're batting passes down and everything. Caden Woolard batted a pass down. Ethan Downs batted a pass down. Like they're getting their hands up and getting their hands on the ball.
I was talking about the O-line.
Oh,
D-line good. D-line good.
D-line. Okay,
D-line good. D-line good.
They weren't that bad.
No, that's what I said. I thought they. I mean, people say, "Oh man, they're still bad," and blah blah.
Which,
I mean,
they got most of their guys back now.
And the thing about it, like I said, and you get another week off before you go to Texas. You got some things to work out. Hawkins, you know, as you can see, Latrell's going to have to open it up, man. You know, Hawkins is not a stature, so he's going to have to open it up for, you know, he's not Jackson Arnold. I'm not saying
quit calling screens on 3rd and long.
Yeah.
Please.
You know, I mean,
goodness.
And both of those tight ends, number 10 is good. They both just do bonehead plays when we don't need them to. Like, there's things that Seth can do with Hawkins that he probably couldn't do with Jackson.
Yep.
But, you know, they were talking about Jackson's attitude. Like, well, I still thought he was kind of pissy over there, you know. I mean, he's not really clapping. He's just kind of biting on his mouthpiece, but he just got a helmet on, so you can't really see his face. But, you know, as long as he's staying in tune because, you know, really, truly, man, you know, if Hawkins don't mess up, and I just see the kid getting better. I don't see the kid getting worse. But people said that the whole time spring ball was going on, that he was a better ball player, even though he came in late. But, you know, when you got all this money tied up in this young man, you know, those boosters and everybody wants to see him. Like I said, when you got cardboards made of you in Walmarts and you're sitting by the Dr. Pepper pop, you know, that tells you right now, you know, they're not making a cardboard, you're not paying you nothing. So, you know, I don't know how that works. You probably lose some of that money if you're not playing. So, you know, he might finish it off this year, but, you know, I see him in the transfer portal. I mean, I don't see him staying.
I see him going closer to home, maybe like a TCU or a SMU. I mean, I think he'd do really good in that SMU offense.
Yeah. And did they end up beating Florida State last night?
Dude, killed him. It was like 42-16, I think.
Man, and see, they got all that money in that Ukatanabuka, and he ain't doing nothing. But I have to say, Westcall came and ran the ball real good. You know, he didn't get very carries, but he had one good run.
Sawchuk.
He had one good run, man, and he almost took it to that. And that's
I don't know
what I said.
What's going on with him. I really don't. I don't know if he's hurt. Like, I don't know if he's like trying to play through something. I don't know, but he just has not been able to get going.
SEC's fast, man. I'm telling you, I told my brother, man, SEC's probably gonna get 5 to 6 teams in the playoffs. That's just how good at that conference. That's real football conference. They can go play in the NFL right now, Big E, and beat a lot of NFL teams. Yeah. You know, and that's just real talk.
Talk about the primetime slate for the SEC games yesterday. If you just kept your channel on kept your channel on number 5 all day, you saw some good games. You saw Kentucky upset Ole Miss. You saw OU come back and beat Auburn, and then you saw that Georgia-Alabama game. That's probably going to be the game of the year. So, I mean,
but you know, I don't know, man. You still got Tennessee, and I mean, you know, you see Ole Miss get knocked off by Kentucky, and Kentucky should have beat
Ole Miss.
Georgia.
Might be able to. I mean, they can still fight their way back in.
I think OU beat Ole Miss. I know John was talking that big noise. I don't think Ole Miss defense is as good as Tennessee. I don't.
Tennessee's defense is definitely better.
Yeah, I mean, Auburn's defense is okay. They had some players. They had some guys on offense too. You know, but I just tell you, OU got defense. I mean, once he keeps recruiting and gets some bigger dudes, they're gonna be tough, man. Kentucky got that big old Zero Walker in the middle, man.
Yeah,
big
Deion Walker.
Big time.
I got him on my ultimate team on the college football game. He gets like.
Hey, I got to ask you a question since you talked about that, man. I asked this question yesterday. I never got an answer from nobody. But so on a college football game, who's the quarterback? Is it Hawkins? Because he was never in the game. Is it still Jackson?
They put him in the game like in the last update. But yeah, he's in the game now. But if you like go in and you use OU, you still gotta sub out Jackson Arnold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So. I don't know. I made my own quarterback for OU. I made another Road to Glory. I made my own. I got a Baker Mayfield Jr. So I'm playing through Baker Mayfield Jr.'s career right now.
Okay, that's nothing wrong with that, Biggie.
And I'm playing a lot like Jackson Arnold. I've thrown a pick every game.
Well, so you know, that's why he's over there chewing on the mouthpiece. But what else, Biggie? What else we got going on? Because like I said, we'll have Coach Jones. He'll come talk about the OSU practice report. And they ain't really have to talk about that.
Yeah.
So.
I just want to talk more about the Alabama-Georgia game. I was watching that game. Like I'd come home. So I was an hour away in Lindsay, as I talked about, and then I get home and I asked my mom. I was like, "You watching the Alabama-Georgia game?" She's like, "No, Alabama's up 37." I turned it off.
I mean,
I was like, "Oh, okay."
Mom. I mean, I said the same thing. Let's go to the next game. I'm starting trying to find the next good game.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that was exciting. Like Essie says, it's so funny because you watch the Big 12 it's okay. But now you watch the SEC, it's like it's a different type of football, man. There's a lot of hard hitting, a lot of you know what I'm saying, and you know
There's a reason why all these people in the NFL making the big money. They played in the SEC.
And you know, you look at it because everybody wants, you know, you were scoring 50, 60 points. You're not going to score that in the SEC.
No,
I don't care if
not.
you're playing Vanderbilt or whatever. Everybody that you play is going to have a good game. So watch Colorado get a big-time win yesterday.
Yeah, I was not expecting that. I was expecting UCF to kind of blow them out.
Is that now the UCF quarterback? Is that the quarterback that used to be at Arkansas?
Yep.
Big old boy. Man,
yeah, he's big. But, yeah, that was awesome. But, no, that Alabama-Georgia game, I mean, that wide receiver they got, that's only 17 years old. He's 17 years old, and he's the best wide receiver in the nation.
I don't know, man. What's called had a couple
No,
good
he's the best wide receiver in the nation.
Auburn had a couple good receivers too. They had a freshman over there was pretty tough. He wasn't probably 17.
He ain't that
but,
good.
Hey, that number 2's the real deal.
I mean, the way that he's able to contort his body after the ball is in his hands and to go down and score, like on that touchdown, I had to watch the replay several times and be like, how the hell did he do that?
What's
that was crazy.
Georgia's quarterback's name?
Beck.
Had
a bad game.
He had a bad half. Second half he did
come out.
And I tell you, the second time if they play each other again, Georgia beats them.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, they just kind of they got it rolling at the end. Alabama kind of took the pedal off the metal, and so gave it.
Well, the thing about this game is now you kind of have a blueprint on how to beat both of these teams. Because I mean, Alabama beat them in the first half, and then honestly, Georgia beat them in the second half. But it's just Alabama made enough big plays at the end.
You're right about that.
But yeah, I think that'll be interesting. Alabama comes into Norman at the end of the season. It'll be the last home game. That'll be I don't know. I'm not giving OU the win right now.
No,
I got to see some more.
I mean, they could beat them. I mean,
they can beat them. But
I think if OU gets a lot of these guys back, they're going to be able to play with them. You know what I'm saying? I say with Georgia, I don't think Georgia's defense is as fast as OU's defense.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say that. I think Georgia don't have the same type of guys that Washcall has, though, that OU have. OU's pretty – I mean, you got to think. Stone's a top recruit, and he's not even touched the field.
Yeah. Well, they got a bunch of experienced guys. I mean, you got that transfer from TCU on the D line. You got, I mean, Jaden Jackson. He's a freshman. He gets out there.
Is that the one that comes from IMG?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
He's been playing big time.
I'm trying to think of the other defensive lineman interior.
I'm glad to see Ford back doing. He looks like he was when he was at Oklahoma State.
Yeah, it was great.
He made a great decision to come here.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've been kind of giving him some run at Cheetah too.
Yeah, he said that. Yeah, I listened to that, and he said I liked it, and but I had to play it because somebody was out. But he's done a good job there. He's pretty quick too. He dropped back in coverage though, so he has a chance to get drafted.
Absolutely, yeah. I think you'll see a lot of defensive guys come off the board for OU. I mean, Stutzman's going to get picked up. Bowman's going to get picked up. Williams is going to get picked up.
Got to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Is Seth Luttrell the offensive coordinator next year?
If it keeps looking like this, there ain't no way. You can't.
You think they keep him on the staff and just move him somewhere else?
No. I don't think Seth would do that. I think they would probably offer that to him, but I don't think Seth would take it.
Where would he go?
Retire. I don't know.
He's too young to retire. Coach.
I know he is young, but I don't know. He ain't going back to North Texas. I don't know. He hasn't showed enough for anybody else to hire.
I mean, he might be able to get on somebody's
might be forced
staff,
into retirement.
He can get on the sports now. He can join us since Jonah's every other weekend.
We get Luttrell on.
Yeah, we get it right here.
I do like listening to him talk. I will say that. I'll listen to his
I love the way he gave what's called. He's a great guy, man. I'm just telling you, he's not snooty like the running back coach.
DeMarco.
Yeah, he's too good. He's too good for everything.
Well,
I'm good. I'm just Mr. Cool.
He made all that money in the NFL. He had a pretty good NFL career, so I mean, I guess that kind of comes with it. But yeah, college football shaking up. Georgia moves up, or not Georgia. Alabama moves up to number 1. Texas drops to 2. Ohio State stays at 3. Georgia falls to 5. But yeah, he's got the shades on.
I'm DeMarco Murray. I'm gonna text you 400 times, get you to come play for me. I'm the coolest guy in town. I wear Miss Me jeans. Yeah,
he wears those Lululemon pants too.
Lululemon, only made for DeMarco, because I played for the Cowboys, not OSU,
and the Eagles,
but the Dallas Cowboys.
He played for the Eagles.
Oh, and the Eagles.
Yeah.
Do I have a Super Bowl ring?
Nope.
Big 12?
I don't know. I think
I
they won a Big 12 championship.
I am from Vegas, though. I'm the coolest cat around. What's my name? DeMarco. Say it loud and proud, DeMarco. I mean,
That's ridiculous.
I'm just saying, folks, he's the coolest cat around, man. We're at the state championship game last year. Joe Don and Venables and all the guys are sitting around, and DeMarco stood over there with the sunglasses on, with his Mispies on, or Lulu, like E said, Lululemon. They don't make Lululemon for big men like me. I got the boo boo lemons.
Man, they did a Lululemon, like they did.
I got a pair of shorts.
OU collab. There were
yeah,
people
went crazy.
Dude, there's people lined up around campus corner for that stuff, and then I go to the game the next day, and
everybody had it on.
Well, everybody had it on, and then there's still plenty of it in the store. Like there was no reason to be lined up.
I got a couple pair of Lululemon. I mean, they're nice shorts, man. They really are. They're comfortable. So I mean, I ain't got no pants. I wouldn't wear no Lulu pants.
I ain't paying Lulu prices. I'm taking
I
myself to Marshalls.
Man, my baby girl got a couple Lululemon skirts. So I mean, hey, that's the style, Big E.
You see this whole outfit? Whole outfit minus the hat.
Hey, Big E, it don't matter no more. I'm like you, man. I mean, usually I get. I don't know when Jessica Bobby says when I get something.
I'm a broke college student.
Do you want to go through these? It's kind of a lot of high school recap.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about that.
Or do we want to bring Jordan on and have him go with us?
Let's see what time. Yeah, let's call Jordan. See if he's
let's
ready
get
to
Jordan
go.
on, Mr. Jordan Davis from the Daily Oklahoma. Folks, that's pretty cool if he could join the Keep It 100 crew for the day. He's taking Jonah's place. We might break him full time. Don't tell Jonah though. But Coach Dunn, Mike Dunn, listen to Jonah. So. We got to keep Jonah around. But, folks, we'll be right back after what?
After one of our sponsors.
Hey, we're sponsored by who? What's that?
Woo Wings.
Woo Wings. No. My new guy. Our new show that drops every what?
Thursday.
What's the name? No.
My show?
Yeah.
Sooner Summary.
Hey, we got to check that. Hey, check them guys. Check them out, folks. Give him a love. Give him a thumb. Give him a like. Give him something. Hey, he did a good job. I'm so proud of my man. We've been doing this for 4 years. We both kind of branch off doing some other stuff. But, hey, we still together every Sunday. Right back after one sponsors, keeping it 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. Right back.
The gang's the same, but we changed the name, and we're now Chaos Customs OKC. Still your one-stop shop for all your vehicle upfitting and accessory needs. With almost 30 years in the business, we're your go-to for lift kits, wheels, tires, spray liners, bed covers, leather, fleet solutions, and so much more. Give us a call today at 405-778-8878.
Welcome back to Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports on this Sunday afternoon with my man Jordan Davis from the Oklahoma.
Yep, the Oklahoman. And
yes, sir.
Yep.
Back in the day it was called the Daily Oklahoma, so now he had to educate me, and this is called the Oklahoma. So, welcome to the show, Mr. Jordan.
How's everything going? I'm about to be on my way back to OKC in Tulsa area right now. I apologize for not being able to pull up on you guys and actually sit down with you guys.
No, that's fine.
No,
That's
man.
fine.
I'll be there for another time.
No. We're good to have you on the show, man. It's our first one. We've had some different guys over from different we had Chris Evans. He does the beat writer for Guthrie. We've had Michael Nido from the Red Preps. So it's always cool when we get different guys on to come and talk. High school football and all the sports that we do over here. Me and he just kind of both branched off. We still do our show each week with me, Ethan, and Jonah. But we both kind of branched off. I started a deal. It's called not Above the Rim. That's got us part with me. Between the Lines, Oklahoma High School Girls Basketball, and it's just a girls basketball show that I do every Wednesday with Coach V, head coach out of Herod, and he started his own summary.
I started my own OU podcast. So.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
And so now to get to bring you on the show, I think it's going to be pretty great. But, Jay, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you're from Chicago, but for everybody that don't get to see your beautiful face every Friday night, tell us about you, a little bit about yourself.
Well, like you said, I'm born and raised from Chicago, Illinois. Up until 18, graduated high school and went to Hampton University for my first year of college, and then transferred to North Carolina A&T State in Greensboro, where I graduated from last May now. So it's been a full full year and some change since I've graduated college. 23-year-old. While I was at A&T, covered Duke and NC State football. Well, NC State football and Duke basketball while I was out there for 2 years, and managed to make my way to Oklahoma. So it's been a cool first year at the Oklahoman, and now we had 3 writers previously. Now it's just 2 of us with me and Nick Sardis, and my main goal is to eventually cover NBA team, beat write for NBA team. Basketball is I guess you could say my top priority as a writer, what I prefer to do. And like this year, I know you just said that you do the girls radio show for the basketball, girls basketball, and I'll be writing more girls basketball this year as well. So
So
I'm
we have
looking
to.
forward to it for year two.
Yes, sir. That's it. We have to have you on that, man. Because, like I said, I know a little bit about the girls, but Coach V, he does a lot, man. Jay Vick, he does a lot with the girls basketball, doing a lot of showcase camps, and so I'm getting a chance to be part of it. I have a daughter that plays basketball, a lot of AAU basketball, so I get to see it.
Okay.
So I'm around it, but I think it's a good deal because we really don't have anybody here that that does like prep boys, for football.
Exactly, yeah.
So I think getting the girls out. Our first week we had over 300 views, and second week we're up to about 200. So more and more when you start getting coaches on and players on, you're gonna have people follow. But also everybody wants to hear about their daughter. We hear about all these boys in football and golf and track and tennis and all that. But hey, let's talk about these young ladies that can hoop a little bit too here in Oklahoma.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
there's plenty of talent in Oklahoma as far as when it comes to girls basketball as well. Really, girls athletics. I mean,
Sure.
yeah. So,
I mean, from what I've seen is, softball is the same way. I know
Yes,
softball is big here, and girls basketball, like you just talked about. I mean, last year we had, was it Putnam City West was one of the top teams nationally in the country,
Yes,
and
sir.
they're from Oklahoma as well. And you just look at some of our top players. I mean, just being critically honest, I mean, a lot of these top athletes are from more so girls basketball than they are boys here as well.
sir.
Like a lot
Yes,
of these, D1 prospects. So it's been fun to watch. I'm looking forward to, the next year of girls basketball and sports in general here, women's sports in general. I appreciate you guys for pushing that.
No, I appreciate you. Go ahead,
yeah.
man.
And, you talk about, coming from Chicago, and then spent some time in North Carolina. I love Greensboro, by the way. I got family in Greensboro. So, and then, making it here, is there anything about Oklahoma that kind of shocked you? Because I know a lot of people think it's like tumbleweeds blowing across the road and everything out here and everything. So is there anything about it that shocked you so far?
I will say, before I moved here, growing up, I only really heard about Oklahoma. Again, I told you I'm a basketball guy, so the only time I hear about them is the Thunder. And, when you think of Oklahoma, I'm thinking like the same of like Idaho or Nebraska or North Dakota. Like I'm thinking it's kind of like that. Like you talk about tumbleweeds and like the middle of nowhere. But, my biggest takeaway was just like Oklahoma City, just how big the metropolitan area actually is here. Like I know it's like, I believe you guys are top 15 in like, size in the country as far as like metropolitan area goes. So I think that was the biggest takeaway was just how nice it actually is. And, Tony, I just told you I moved downtown. So like, now I'm getting the actual feel. I was living in Edmond. It was a bit slow. And now I'm like, I got to move where it's a bit up pace. Now I'm able to walk around and actually get the city feel. So I'm loving Oklahoma City now. So
it's big time. With the Thunder, man. Coming to town. We had the Hornets for a little bit when the hurricane hit, so we got a chance to adopt the Hornets for a little bit. And so once that kind of kicked off, they brought a team here. And at one point in time, when you had 4 or 5 great All Stars and KD, Westbrook, Harden, and then Ibaka. You look at these guys, and then they had Steven Adams. At one point in time, that team should have won a championship, and they didn't. They got beat by the Lakers. I mean, not the Lakers, but my guys with the Lakers.
Warriors.
But they got beat by was it with Miami Heat?
Warriors.
Yeah, no, they got beat by. Then
In the
LeBron
finals?
beat.
Oh, you're talking about 2012? Yeah.
LeBron beat him. My boy, my man King James got him. You know what I'm saying? I'm a LeBron fan. Wherever LeBron go, I got that jersey on. But just keep it 100. But just now to see what they do,
Keep
man.
it 100. I love to hear it. I love to hear it. I'm a Chicago guy too, so people. I'm also a LeBron guy, so people kill me all the time for having him as the GOAT over the ball 23 guys.
Man, we talk about
You
that.
can't even say his name.
That's what I'm talking about.
The ball 23 guy can't even say his name.
Yeah, and we done with the 90s. I'm done with the 90s.
Man, I'm the youngest one here right now, and even I'm over here like, come on now.
But you guys got to realize,
MJ
guys got to realize though, man. People talk about LeBron, but you know what? MJ was a bully to his guys. He really was, man. He treated Pippen bad. Pippen never got paid, and what he did, he didn't have to change teams. I know I do get mad at LeBron jumping ship, but you got to think. Michael brought everybody to him. He didn't have to leave. Then when he did leave and go to the Warriors, he didn't do nothing. LeBron has won at 3 different teams. Now who's a GOAT? Who's a GOAT? Give me a GOAT sound.
Exactly
when we get to, that's it. That's it. But I mean, I think the Thunder. I really think they'll win a championship soon. I mean, they're still young, but I mean, with SJ, man, I'm telling you right now, I don't catch a lot of games. I still cheer for my Lakers, I'm hoping he can get one more before he retires. Because I mean, just to see a guy play till he's 40 years old is big time, man. I mean, I'm 52 years old, and it's hard for me to walk just to see a man get up and down the court, and plus play with the passion he plays with, like in the Olympics. You can't talk about, man. Nobody gives you night in and night out, like LeBron. You know that's true, Big E.
Yeah.
Tell the truth, Big E.
You're not lying. I mean, that's why he's been my favorite player. I can send you pictures of me being 6 years old and being in Cleveland, and my mama pulling up to his house with his jersey on, and us, camping out to find like this is my favorite player growing up. So yeah, so I'll say I'm kind of a bit of a Lakers fan. Kind of what you're saying, trying to see him win another. I don't know with the way the Thunder are looking. I do think the Thunder are the favorites in the West to go to the finals this year.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to just the NBA season this year altogether too.
Yeah.
So and
Yeah,
I'll be at Thunder Media Day tomorrow as well. So
That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
So like I got to ask you, because you got, so how did you get hooked up with Oklahoma? Because I know Jackson was here, a young man that graduated from Carl Albert High School, a local guy. Did he kind of hook you up to get to Oklahoma, or did you just kind of
you're talking about James? Yeah. No, he so I was. So once I graduated from A&T, I got an internship, Sports Journalism Institute. I guess you could say one of the prestigious, one of the it was like a scholarship and as well as a fellowship and an internship where they kind of get you in the door. And with that, I went to Arizona for 3 days. Underwent some mentorship. Got to speak to some of the, I guess you could say, top journalists in the country. Obviously, like Stephen A. Smith, Michael Wilbon was there. A lot of other people in the sports media industry. I'm sure you know the names that I'm blanking on right now, but I was there, got a chance to get mentorship from them, and that led to an internship in Jackson, Mississippi, working for the Clarion Ledger. There, I was covering a bit of Jackson State sports, was covering a bit of Ole Miss and Mississippi State and
That's big time.
Southern Miss throughout the summer, and I saw that James ended up leaving this job, which opened up a job opportunity for us and. Here at the Oklahoman, and I saw the opportunity, applied, and basically got the job in about 5 days, and then packed all my bags and moved back out here. So I mean, I'm used to packing all my bags and moving. I've lived in 5 different states in 5 different years. So
man, it's tough,
yeah,
man. I mean, but you say
tough.
you young, so it's good to do while you're young. So it's just great. You said, how old are you? 23?
Yeah, 23.
Man, you same age as my son. I got 2 sons, 23. I got a daughter, 2 daughters, 26. Then I got a 13-year-old. So yeah, that's me. But it's really cool to see that you are here with Oklahoma, man. And me and Coach Jones, he's gonna come join us here in a little bit on do a 10-minute segment. We'll talk about Delsey and talk about Oklahoma State because he covers Oklahoma State.
Okay.
He does their game day. But we talked about, so I was having you on today, and he just talked about your personality, man. Is really, I mean, you walk through the football field, you always got your backpack, but you always got a smile, man. And people don't realize sometimes that smile go a long way. Somebody can have a bad day, and then you come through there and you just like, hey man, what's up? You give everybody love, and you got a lot of guys in this business. And I've been doing this podcast 4 years. Me and Big E started it 4 years ago. I can tell you, I've never made a dime on this, but I'm not here to make a dime. I get to talk high school sports and enjoy talking high school sports and then pub kids' names. So I really love it, man, what I do. My wife had told me a long time ago, she said, when you start making money on it, you're not going to love it. Not saying I don't ever want to make money on it, but, just to see your attitude, the way you carry yourself, it makes other people's day go by really good, man. People might not tell you, but I'm going to tell you, though, man, like when I see you come to the gym or even to the football field, I'm like, okay, man, that's a cool cat.
Appreciate you, Tony. Thank you. And, I do appreciate you. I don't hear that often. A lot of people, especially in this business, from what I've learned, especially in my first year and a half here, is, a lot of people don't really, they're looking at it as a competition.
That's it, man. They don't retweet your stuff, man. Man, I retweet people's stuff. You're the only person that'll retweet my stuff, man. All these other guys, man. I mean, I've had guys come on a show and do a show with me, laugh and giggle, high five, and then I go tag them in it, man. They won't even retweet the show.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And that's what I'm saying. It's all love. Like, it doesn't have to be, like I get everybody is trying to, eat but I feel like
Yeah.
everybody can eat at the same time.
That's
like,
it.
I've-
That's
I've-
it. There's
I've
enough
ran
food for
into I've
everybody.
ran into plenty of people out here who have either blocked me on Twitter or like muted me, so I can't like see their tweets. And
That's
and I'm
crazy,
just
man. That's
because at the end of the
crazy.
day,
That's
at the end of the
crazy.
day, we're doing all of this to push the kids, right?
That's
Like the
it, man.
kids
Hey,
should be first.
it's funny that you say that, man, because that's two guys out of Tulsa, man, and I like them, man. Spice One, I mean, I think they're called Spice One, and they don't follow me. They don't follow me back. I follow them, and one day they had Keywan Jones on there, and they were sitting there talking, and I told Keywan, I said, tell them to keep it 100, and I retweeted their stuff and added something. They got a bunch of views on it. And I was like, man, those guys never added me, but it's all good, man, because at the end of the day, man. Like I said, we all can eat, but you know what? I'm not gonna be that guy. I'm gonna give you love, just like I said. It's a business, but it's a fun business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, I got love that you get to go to the. I'm jealous of you a little bit that you get to go to media day, but hey, that's cool stuff though, man. You keep doing your thing, and I mean, I'm just telling you, I hope you become the biggest guy here in Oklahoma because, like I said, that's what it's all about. But hey, let's talk about some of these high school. I know you got a chance to catch some of these things, and we're gonna recap. We'll recap some week 4's games, and then see what some of your thoughts about them. Wassel gets the big win over BA, which BA is kind of down right now. Wassel beats them 49-21 to stay undefeated. Union over Edmond Santa Fe. Union, it's still doing this big thing. I think they got one loss so far this year. Knock off Santa Fe 26-14. The team on this side of the state, I think it's going to upset a lot of people. It hurt a lot of people's feeling when it comes to playoff time is Deer Creek. I think Deer Creek is the real deal.
I'm starting to believe it a little bit more.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you look at them, man, they knock off Enid. Enid's a team that, gave Stillwater everything they wanted, knocked off Zoe's Loudon Wolverines, but Enid gets beat up on by Deer Creek 49-0. So I'm just telling you right now, people can talk about Wassel, people can talk about Union. The team I want to talk about here in a minute is Jinx, but we'll get on them in a minute. But I really think that Deer Creek is a team that I'm telling you right now, if you're going to punch a ticket for the state championship, do not count those guys out.
Oh yeah, I agree 100%. I went to see Deer Creek. Seen them twice this year. I saw them against McGinnis, and I saw them against MM Memorial, and they blew the doors off both of those teams. And you just see the offense. You see the playmakers that they have. They have Lamar Davis from Millwood coming in now. They have Jalen. I believe his name is Jalen Davis, if I'm not mistaken. I believe in my first game against McGinnis, he had 3 touchdowns altogether combined. One of them came back on a punt return, but every single time he touched the ball, he made a play. And then not to mention, I didn't even mention their running back, Joseph Yambi, and then they have Mason Smith, who has been a dog for them as well. He's basically just throwing it up. Grady Iverson is basically just throwing it up to Mason Smith, and he's coming down with everything thrown his way. So, and then obviously Grady Adamson, like we just talked about. I mean, he's clearly one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback in the state right now. And then you talk about the defense, and like I said, some of those players I just mentioned are also on the other side of the ball as well. I know Deer Creek has Zaire Fisher, who was at Millwood as well, who had 3 picks against MM Memorial when I was there. And, they're just really well-rounded. Obviously, they're in the toughest division in the state. But who's to say that they can't knock one of these top teams off? I mean, you just talked about Jinx. I had, me and Nick Sardis thought that Jinx was going to be outside of Bixby.
Hey, I said the same thing. Not Big I said I'm about to eat crow on that one because, having Keywan, I get to see Keywan a lot during the summer. His daughter plays AU basketball, so we caught up in a tournament, and he had told me they had 11, and I heard they had 20 transfers in, and I'm like, you got that many transfer ins, man, I'm going to give you the gold ball, plus what you already had, but, man, I just tell you, they feel like they can't get the chemistry together, so I don't know what's going on right there, man.
Well, to be fair, I will say they have played 3 of the best other teams in the state to start the year out. They're losing, and they're not losing to scrubs. They're losing to Owasco, Union, and Bixby. I mean, not to say, and it's not like they're getting blown out either. I mean, these have been close games. It's outside of Owasco. I mean, they lost to Union by 6, and
they should have won that game. They got robbed that game.
Yeah.
That's a touchdown.
I think it was either you or somebody else told me that they have some touchdowns called back. I didn't get a chance to see the.
They had a touchdown right at the end of the game, man. The kid gets in, and they call him out of bounds and call it a no catch. and he caught the ball, got over the plane, and then it became I can say it's my show, a shit show, because everybody started fighting and screaming, and coaches getting kicked out the game. So it became a big clown fest. So I think they got robbed that game. I text Keon the next morning and say, hey man, y'all got robbed that game. But only thing it does, you lose that game, is non-district, but now you get off and get beat by Bigsby last Friday night, and it kind of puts you in a bad situation, because now you have to go to a Wasso, or you're going to have to go to Union to get to the state championship. So that kind of puts you in a tough bind right there, though. So you want to win that game so you don't have to face one of those teams, because you're going to have to meet one of those teams in the second or third round the way it's set up. But I'm telling you right now, with Deer Creek the way it is, man, Deer Creek is rolling. So I'm still going to give them a front runner. I think Owasso's going to be there, but I'm telling you, it's hard to beat a team twice, and I think Union probably will knock out for Wasso. And I think I'm gonna put the Deer Creek Antlers. I'm gonna go and put them in there. I'm gonna go and put them in there right now as we speak today, the last day of the month. And what month is this? September. I'm gonna go and put Deer Creek in the state championship.
Whoa.
That's big time.
Oh wow, that is big. I think it all depends on the bracket, how everything
plays out. Everything's out.
But I think that I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. I will say I want to see them against one of those 3 powers or those 4 powers, because I still haven't lost hope in Jinx. I think Jinx can still.
I know you talk about that, but you got to look at it though, man. When you gonna start losing a little confidence, man? You got all these guys coming over here. Now you got mamas and daddies over here talking about, oh man, this and this and this. I moved my baby over here, and then you talk about a couple kids that moved over to. And I didn't know this. That moved over from Millwood to Deer Creek. It makes them even better what you already got. So, what do you think about the transfer portal though, with all these high school kids moving?
Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so I have 2 separate opinions on it. From a player perspective, I get it. I do feel like coaches and a lot of personnel, people move around all the time. Why can't the players do it? And I get it. I get all of the. I'm somebody that likes to play devil's advocate. I like to try to see both sides of the playing field. Like I said, I get players wanting to move around, and some of these players are in their last year of high school, and some of them are in bad programs and might want to win. It's really all up to the players. But I also understand, some of the politics of it, some of the ways that, some of these smaller schools eventually, when these bigger schools start pulling from the smaller schools, and how that can affect them as well. So I get it. I personally do side with, I believe, what the popular opinion is and being against it, because maybe it's because I don't like change, but growing up back in Chicago, I remember, they were like the IHSA, which is Illinois' OSSAA, basically. They were really, they made it a big deal. Like, they were really strict about, a lot of these transfer rules. Like, they would, to the point where I have friends that have, transferred schools, and they would follow them home to make sure that they lived in the district, like white vans and everything. Right. And so I'm used to people taking that stuff seriously. So for you to take that cap off and let basically, a free, you can basically transfer to anywhere you want, one free transfer, is a bit crazy. Again, I get it why kids are doing it, and why, because I was at the OSSAA meeting, and I know I'm going a bit all over the place with this. I apologize, but I was at the OSSAA meeting in September, and I heard there that out of 450 transfer requests, they processed 433 of them, and that was as of July 1st. We've seen a lot more since then as well. Yeah. So, yeah, I do think it is a bit crazy, and it is getting about out of hand. I think we see it a lot with football, but especially I think when basketball season comes too, we're going to see a lot. Actually, because obviously the rosters are much smaller, so you can actually see more impact what, in my opinion, of what the transfer rule has done. So, I think that, in my opinion, I think in 3 years they're going to have more restrictions with it, so you can and cannot do certain things. So, I'm looking forward to seeing, what if there will be repercussions or what comes next, because I don't think that it's something that's just cut and dry as you some people would think it'd be. It's more complex than anything.
Right.
So.
And then you pair that with the NIL. These kids can also get paid. Now there's nothing stopping being like Johnny owns a business over in Enid. I can go and throw something at him and whatever. I'm sure there's guardrails on that, but there's no way to keep tabs on all of that that's happening. So.
Yeah, it's big time. But then you look at Westmore, they get the win over Coach White that came here. He gets the win over UConn, 31-21. His first win as a Oklahoma head high school football coach. Coming from Wyoming, was coached in college. Comes back and take the Westmore job after Zoe was let go. But he gets his first win last weekend over UConn, like I said, 31-21. I think he says their stadium. I texted him last night. I think he says stadium opens up this Friday night, so they'll have Norman North. So congratulations to him and his staff. But hey, the game that you was at, big time. I'm a big time Malachi. We've had him on the show a couple of times, but get the big win over Mustang. Was that the game Is that the game you went to?
Yeah, I was at Mustang and Moore. Yeah. Crazy,
so
crazy,
crazy game. So I know Malachi kind of got knocked out, and then and backup quarterback came in. So I talked to him yesterday. He said they thought he had a concussion. But hopefully he's all right because they got a big game just coming Friday night. They got Bigsby coming to town, and it's pretty cool to see those guys sitting at 4-0, 1-0 in district. Coach Bryant was a chance. My boys got a chance to play for Coach Bryant when he was at Choctaw. He was a defensive coordinator, good coach. Hard-nosed coach, but he's a coach that you would love to play for. Some people probably call him kind of hard, but that's what you want because when you go to college, you're gonna have somebody hard on you. So congratulations to them and more. But tell me a little bit about that game. Came down to a last-minute field goal, right?
Yeah, last-minute field goal. It was a pretty. At first, the game was a bit underwhelming. It was only 6-0 at first. I mean, Malachi, like you said, he threw an interception, and on that interception, he got drilled and hit the back of his head on the grass. And they said that he, like you just said, they thought he had a concussion, so they sat him for the rest of the game. And then that led room for Maverick Gardner to come in, who was the backup for Moore and has played backup quarterback. He's came in last year, I think, against Bixby and Broken Arrow, and they lost those two games. So talking to him after the game, he was really determined to be able to come out with the win. And obviously that's what they did. He had 145 yards rushing for Moore this week, and 2 touchdowns as well coming in at quarterback. And then Ozias Adams
the running
as well.
back. He's the freshman or sophomore?
He is a sophomore. Came in and was played huge for them as well today. I mean, last week he had 166 yards and 3 touchdowns last week, and then he comes around this week has 150 yards and 2 touchdowns for them as well. So, in a touchdown, for them as well. So he was huge. But Westmore comes in that second half, and they start putting points on the board quick. Started getting the ball to the Johnson boys over there. Jacoby Johnson's little brothers, JT and Jaden, and they started making plays. I think Jaden had like a 55-yard touchdown on one of the plays, and Mustang had a 20 to 15 lead at the start of the fourth quarter. And Moore was able to drive it down. Maverick Gardner was able to score, which put the score at 21-20. And Mustang was able to, they tried to 2-minute drill it, and they did. They were able to get in the field goal range thanks to some penalties, and they finally did get in the field goal range. And right before they handed the kickoff for the field goal, they iced the kicker. That kick went in, I believe.
Man.
And then on the very next kick, the snapper, the holder, fumbled the snap, and it was far left, and Moore was able to come and get the win on the road. It was crazy.
That's big time. Congratulations to Malachi, and like I said, all the guys with Moore, man, sitting at 4-0. I know the last few years they kind of started off slow, then got in district play and just didn't make the playoffs. But it seems like this year they keep winning a couple more ball games. I know they got a tough game coming in this week, and hopefully they can have Malachi for that game. But it seems like the backup that came in and did a good job, and then the running back, he had over 140-some yards. He said the last 2 weeks he's ran crazy. So hopefully they found a guy that can run the ball for him, and that's what it's all about, man. Because Malachi is playing lights out, man. Hope he gets a scholarship. I think Pitt offer him or invited him. So he's a good player, man. I mean, he is, man. He's worked his butt off, man. At one point in time that the quarterback that's over at Carl Albert now, Newton and Malachi, both was at Santa Fe, and both transferred out, and both from teams that's winning. Carl Albert and then Moore. So it just tells you how that transfer portal works. If you don't keep them, don't play them. Guess what? They might not be here tomorrow.
Exactly. And that's the good thing. I think, like I said, to even just go back to it for, it's given a lot of players because, just to be honest, I played basketball in high school. Like I've seen the effects that a coach really can have. And this is not to say anything about the Santa Fe coach. I know Coach Kyle White, he's a great guy. And I don't know enough. Again, I've only been here. I don't know what happened with, them
Oh
transferring.
yeah. It
But
just happens, man.
I just know, everybody has different experiences. Some people feel like, they have potential that they want to exercise. And, being able to go to another school that'll give you that opportunity is, what some of these players need, especially because at the end of the day, these are some of these players' lifeline. Like, they're trying to go to college, provide for their families, provide for themselves, and get to that next level. So if you're thinking that way, you would assume that, like I said, with coaches, they're going to do what's best for their family and best for their lifeline
Yes, sir.
and their career. So I think it's also it's somewhat is a good thing to see players taking their own careers into their own hands at this point in life and getting under better understanding of what that looks like for them in some of their senior years. So I think I try to play devil's advocate with it, and I don't really have too much of an opinion on it, but like I said, I do feel like in 3 years a lot will change. There will be more bad than there will good with it because I do think people are going to take advantage of it. So
Absolutely.
So then we go to 682. You got Sand Springs over Bartlesville, 41-20, and you got Choctaw over Piedmont. It was a high scoring, more like a basketball game than it is a football game. 56-40. Choctaw's defense, man, is struggled the last few weeks and is getting up a lot of points, man, in the last 3 weeks. So it'll be tough for them to win a state championship if you don't get that defense fixed because you still got Muskogee, you still got Stillwater, you still got some of those teams like that, that can come in, do some damage. Right now I had that written down, but somewhere. But I think they'll win the rest. I think the next toughest game is going to be they got Public City be a tough game just because of what Alexander's going to do over there. But I think Stillwater be the next toughest game they have on their schedule. Muskogee, they should cruise right into it. I mean they win over Ponca City 59-14. Jamal Franklin, he's trying to win the second state championship and get everybody on his staff. He got a bunch of D1 guys on his team. So they're just trying to win another one, man. Muskogee is rocking and rolling right now. Back in the early 80s, Muskogee and the Bombers, they were the two teams back in the, back then that battled each other for a state championship. And Muskogee kind of got it rolling right now. Coach Hill over there, Travis, he got it going. So when you got a big-time Division I quarterback that I think that, he can go to Texas State for a few years and then transfer out and go to a bigger school, I think that's going to be a name that we're going to remember is Jamal Franklin. I mean, the kid is good. We've had him on the show. I started following him when he was a freshman, so he's big time.
Yeah, Jabarian Franklin. I mean, he was one of our Super 30 kids this year for a reason, obviously, with the way that he played last year. And I know Muskogee has a Bartlesville transfer.
The running back,
Wallace and then they have Andrea Beasley, and they have a really lot of good playmakers over there. So, I mean, that makes Bird's job a lot easier as well. But altogether, obviously, one of the best players in quarterbacks, obviously, in the state. I mean, not even just to take the spotlight away from him, but, we did a story, Nick Sardis did a story a few weeks ago about just the quarterback class that we have this year and just how talented, this is probably, according to them, this is one of the best quarterback classes that Oklahoma has had in a long time or in a few years. You talk about, we're talking about Bird Franklin right now. You talked about Grady Adamson already. You're talking about David McComb at Edmond Memorial, Shaker Rising, and there's just a lot of really
good quarterbacks.
Really good,
a lot of good QBs.
Talent. So it's been great to see, and I do think that Muskogee is the favorite once again to come out on top in 6A2, but. Who knows? I mean, Stillwater is still really good. Choctaw, I haven't got a chance to see them play, but I'm going to make sure I'm at that Choctaw and Putnam City game because I do believe in what Coach Alexander has going over there.
Yeah, they're going to be big time. I think. I mean, I think that team that played Choctaw a few weeks back is kind of put the blueprint how to kind of stop their big time player Juju. The team goes to Juju go and then Cash Williams. Those are two big playmakers for the Choctaw Yellow Jackets. Cash has signed a baseball scholarship to go play at Tennessee. I don't know who's picked up Juju. I think Juju's maybe 1 or 2 inches taller. He can go anywhere he wants. The kid is a playmaker. I'm not a big Choctaw fan, but I just tell you, I am. When a kid can go, I'm gonna give the kid a credit. I don't care who coaches him and who's teaching him what, but that young man can go. I mean, I'm a big fan of Juju, the way he plays the game and the way he gets down, and he plays with heart, man. He don't He don't play, you know what I'm saying? He giving you, I mean, the kid might be a buck 50, buck 60, but he plays like he runs the ball like he's 220. So, like I said, I hope he gets something good at the end of the day because he is a good player, man, and love to see him, you know, finish his education, get a chance to play college ball and get his ball paid for. We'll move on down to 5A, Newcastle, a team that's kind of struggling, jumping into 5A right now. You know, they beat up on Duncan, but they'll take on Midwood City this coming Friday, so that should be a good game. Then you look at Lawton, my man Zoe gets a win. I mean, everybody had T-shirts last year save Zoe finally gets a win, so now they can say Zoe gets a win. So that's the shirt we need to sell this week. Big time. My brother and Zoe are best friends, so I can give him a little bit of hell. So Zoe gets his first win as a Lawton Wolverines coach over who did he beat? Noble, 37-29. He was losing that game and came back and won that game. So kudos to him. Then you look at Shawnee. I'm a big Madonna fan. Big time.
I talked to him yesterday.
Man, I love Madonna. Madonna's a good coach, man. You know, he coached, he's, from the Mid-Dale area. He coached over with Coach Jones over at Dale City. Really, really like him, what he's doing with Shawnee. You know, they go to hell a year ago, losing the stadium, and now they got turf and all that. So they got one of the best high school basketball gyms around. So, I'm just telling you, they got it going on out there, man, and they're trying to bring the kids back from South Rock Creek. Now, I think if they had that running back, was it Hawkins over at Shawnee? Now,
You said say it again. Who Hawkins?
I said think if Shawnee had Hawkins, the running back that's over at North Rock Creek, over at Shawnee.
Caleb Hawkins. Yeah,
Caleb Hawkins. Think if they had him. Just man, how good would they be? I mean, right now they're sitting at 3-1. You know, and Madonna's gonna do a good job. He's gonna get kids to come play. He's a likable guy, man. You look at him. He got a little bit of soul, got a little bit of swag in him. You know, think about it. He coached at Dale City. You know, he's you know what I'm saying? He got to have a little swag in him. But, man, I'm telling you, he's a hell of a coach. So, anytime he can win, I'm going to give him a shout-out, though. So, great job.
Yeah, and then, Shawnee has this running back duo, Shaw and Dietrich Beavers. Both of them have really been carrying a lot of what they do over there. I know Dietrich Beavers he's going to be on our Player of the Week poll this week. He had 160 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns for them. And Dave Shaw the week before was on our Player of the Week. So, I mean, you talk about Caleb Hawkins, but it seems like their running back duo is holding things down over there.
Oh, yeah, that's big time, though, And like I said, I know Hawkins just committed to North Texas.
Yeah.
That's a big kid, man. I don't know how big. I know his dad, Adam. His dad used to make my uniforms, my little league team. So Adam's done a good job with his kids, man. I mean, he got some good athletes. So I think he got a younger brother, a couple of little girls. So Adam's done a good job, man. But what Madonna needs to do is get the rest of them Hawkins over there at Shawnee, though. Whoops.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Big E.
Yeah. So just kind of talking about these teams and all the players and things and you've seen so far, who are some of your dark horse teams? Maybe teams that people aren't too high on right now, but that you can see kind of shaking it up as we get later into the season.
Like I said, I think Putnam City is a dark horse because they get a lot of their, obviously, they're going to start playing some of these top teams with Choctaw, and I believe they play Stillwater soon as well. But I think that, when you have a kid like Braden Knox coming off the edge, so I did a lot of preseason stuff over there and just seeing the way that their defense flies around. They have a great secondary, Savion James and Elijah Asbury and Michael Ford, who's committed to go to Nevada. And then, you look at Trip Alexander, their linebacker, and they have some big boys up on the D-line and, all with that, with Braden Knox coming off the edge. I mean, this is a kid who is – you guys can still hear me?
Yeah. We're listening. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
my bad. I had got a phone call once. This is, Braden Knox is a kid over there that, just seeing him, there was a point in time I've been to practices and scrimmages before this year and even watching some film, it seems like, nobody's able to stop him off the edge. He gets to the backfield and is touching either the quarterback or the running back on every single play he's irritant. So, with somebody like that, I wouldn't be surprised if Putnam City was able to come in and upset Choctaw and, really make some noise in the second half of the season. Them, and then Tuttle. I feel like Tuttle in 4A is not getting enough praise.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with C.J. Simon now and Cruz Campbell and Brady McAdoo especially, just to see the way that they've been playing with those 3 guys. I know Cruz is a transfer from Southmore and C.J. is a transfer from Moore, and just to see how they're able to come in, and Sean Rounsaville as well from Tuttle had a big day as well. So just to see those guys come in and really, just the way that they're playing right now, I think a lot of people are sleeping on them. They're honestly, my pick to win 4A. I get that Wagner is who they are. I
Oh
get
no,
that
I gotta say
Blanchard.
something real quick, Jordan.
I get that Blanchard is nice, and I'm forgetting
Nah,
somebody else.
nah,
I apologize,
Elgin,
but
Elgin,
Elgin. Oh yeah, and
Elgin.
Elgin as well. I know Elgin was one of the best teams in 5A last year, and they still
Ooh,
moved down. I know Elgin is nice.
I thought Elgin lost a lot, man. I'm telling you right now, they are putting up big time numbers. 60, 50 points, man. I mean, they're beating people good. And I mean, don't get
Yeah,
me wrong, because I'm a big time CJ Simons. We've had him on the show. I'm hoping somebody picks his kid up. I know he had signed with Nebraska and then he decommitted it. I wish he would have kept that commitment because Nebraska's doing big things right now. But I mean, do you see anything on his recruitment that anybody's going to pick him up? Because right now he doesn't have any offers, does he?
Oh, you're talking about CJ Simon?
Yes, sir.
I believe he has. I think you say he has a Nebraska. I haven't seen
No,
all of them. But
he decommitted from Nebraska to open it
oh
back
yeah,
up, and then right now he doesn't have anybody. I know they got a couple teams knocking him. He wants to go to Oklahoma State, but I mean they haven't offered him though. So I wish he'd have kept
yeah.
that Nebraska.
I haven't seen. I believe he doesn't have a Kansas offer. I heard a Kansas, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech.
Those are teams that are looking at him and talking to him, but ain't none of them officially offered him. I don't think though. I might be wrong,
I
but
think he's got to have some offers. I'd be shocked if he didn't.
Well, he was on our Super 30 this year, and he was top. I think he was 21. So he
Yeah.
definitely, according. Yeah, I'm looking now. 24/7 Sports says he has Kansas, Nebraska, Oklahoma State, and Texas Tech still.
yeah, but
And he's
Nebraska's
getting
not
interest
there
from
no more.
OU and Tulsa.
Yeah, Nebraska's not there. I know because he decommitted from them because he texted me and told me he
Okay.
decommitted from them. So I know, but they got a good team. Like I said, that 4A is salty with Tulsa, with Tuttle, Blanchard, Elgin, Wagner. Any one of them can win it. It was a great game. I got the chance to watch that Guthrie and Tuttle game. I'm gonna go probably catch one of their games later on this season. I'll be out of town this week, but Tuttle's a team that, like you said, you could put them in the front horse to win the ball. I mean, to win 4A state championship too.
Yeah. I just, you just look at the just landscape. 4A is, I was doing another radio bite the other day, and they asked me about, who I think what I think the deepest class is. I still think it's 6A1, but it's a lot of really good. 4A I think is deep. I think 2A1 is really deep. You just look at the landscape everywhere. 4A obviously, like we just talked about 4 different teams with Blanchard, Wagner, Tuttle, and Elgin. I mean, any of those teams honestly can win it all.
Yeah.
So so I'm really looking forward to it though.
So I mean, you had Dell City knocking off number 2 Collinsville. I know some of the beat writers up in Guthrie had picked Collinsville to beat Dell City. Dell City really got some good running back. Coach Jones does a good job. He's starting to have kids come in school and move in now. Has a quarterback that moved in from Tuttle. Once I guess old boy came into Tuttle, he moved out and came to Dell City. But they got one of the best players in the state, Rickland Holmes. And I mean, you look at Dell City, Coach Jones. The only thing about that Coach Jones and Carl Albert, it seems like they're gonna meet each other in the semifinals because that's where the bracket is gonna fall. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think yes, it's kind of like deja vu of last year.
Yeah.
It's Carl Albert, Dale City, and everybody else. It seems like, and especially like you talk about with Elgin moving down to 4A. I do the rankings every week, and it's like you already know Carl Albert and Dale City's gonna be 1 and 2, and then you got McGinnis and the whole nine and everybody else. But even still, like you just feel the gap between those 2 teams and everybody else. Like I was surprised to see Dale City lose to Evan Memorial, get shut out in their first game, but ever since then they've kind of took that punch on the chin and got right back up, and I've really got back in the rhythm. So
not to make any excuses
I'm looking forward to it.
Not to make any excuses for him, he had lost his offensive coordinator and his line coach all in the same week, so he had to call the plays. And Coach Jones is a defensive mind coach, so it all works itself out. But hey, sometimes a loss is good. It kind of picks you up and find out what you're really about, though. I mean, it's kind of like you getting beat by Tennessee. Guess what? You got to find and crawl and find a way to win, and that's what they did yesterday. So
I didn't even know that about their coach. See, I appreciate that's certain things that you don't know. That's why I got to come on Keep It 100.
Hey, that's why we call Keep It What, Big E?
Keep it 100.
We keep it 100. We fine. We dig and crawl, man. People call me, tell me. Sometimes I don't want to tell because it might not be the truth, but but me and Jones, we usually talk every day. I probably need to call him and add him to this show with us, huh? But real quick, we talk about, like I said, you look at the dog. I mean, the top 2 dogs in 5. You're looking at Dale City and Carl Albert. And Carl Albert's a team that has not given up a point yet, have one of their best defensive players still out for the season. I mean, not out for the season, should be coming back. I think he practiced last week. And Marcus James, the outstanding linebacker tight end. But I tell you right now, Carl Albert's done a good job, man. I got to give it up to Coach Dunn and the defensive coordinator, those guys over there, man. They scored over 213 points with a new quarterback. They had a 5-star quarterback that was here, moves away. Now you have Newton and you have the young man, can't think of his name right now. It's number 11. I know it's number 11, but
For who?
For Carl Albert, their quarterback.
Devin Woodring. I ran into him yesterday.
Yeah, Devin. So you got him and Newton. Battling. Newton's kind of battling a little bit of injuries right now, but Devin's kind of done a good job managing the game. And when and you got the little CJ Simons, little running back, he's doing a good job. And then I got a chance to go watch them play Stillwater, and man, they just dominated the game. I mean, Stillwater had the ball on the 3, and Carl Albert drove them all the way back to the 20. That's the best defense in the state right now, man. And they might not get scored on, man. I mean, I'm seriously, Jordan. I mean, they might not get scored on this year. I mean, they're that salty. I mean, it's crazy that how they fly around, and they got some guys, man, that probably don't get a lot of big time
notoriety.
Yeah, couldn't even talk. But you look at LeBron, man, on the edge, man. I mean, the kid he's a basketball player. I love the name anyway, LeBron. I watched him in basketball get his teeth knocked out and still come back in the game. Undersized D lineman, but he plays with a motor. I mean, I tell you, another young man is Wilkerson's boy, number 45, man. I mean, just a big old boy. I mean, his daddy played 12, 13 years in the NFL. This tells you what they got over there. Now you're talking about one of the best players in state, number 6, Tristan. And you talk about Washington. I mean, it just keeps going. Then you got some younger guys, Webster. I mean,
Caden Davis.
Cade Davis. I even got to that. Yeah, like Cade Davis, man. I tell you right now, if they ran him the ball 20 times a game, he might average 200 yards a game. They let him play some. They let him play some Wildcats in the Stillwater game, man. And the kid goes after a punt. I mean, he's a big time player, one of the best players in the state of Oklahoma on defense. He goes for a punt and flies like Superman. I did a little clip on him. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Caden Davis. The kid is flying to try to block a punt, and they got one of the best kickers in the state. Man, I mean, what else can you ask for? I want to coach that. I need that ring, Coach D. I need to get a ring.
When isn't Carl Albert stacked? Like, that's one of the first things I learned when I got here. I asked, who the powerhouses were, and they're like, yes, Carl Albert is in the finals, winning chips for the past decade. So,
and you're not even talking about some of the young guys, Elijah. That's coming up in Webster. They got some guys in the womb waiting to come and play. So they're not going to lose a beat next year. The offensive line is young. They got LeClaire on the line. I mean, kid is just I think a junior. So I mean, starting and can play center and guard. They got think they got him playing guard, but he can play center. But I mean, they're all young. They got a sophomore, so you got to think about next year. They're gonna just be as good, and they lose Sperry, to go back to Texas. So I mean, what they got going on over there at Carl Albert is crazy. Is what Memphis City used to be in the early '90s, man. And Coach, Coach D knows what he's doing, man. I mean, he's a player coach, man. He gets them out on Twitter, not taking that from Rose and Corley. But these guys right here, man. What these kids want to be? They want to be on the X or Twitter, whatever they want to call it. Anytime you can put a video up, man, and he does that, man. And people's coming through the hallways looking at these kids, and I mean, that's why you got 4 or 5 guys going D1. And guess what? He'll reload again because everybody wants to go to Carl Albert. I'm telling you right now, he ain't got to ask nobody to come. They're asking him, can they come?
Yeah. I just, Carl Albert is a different breed, man. You talk about Bixby and Carl Albert and Washington. I mean, they're just built different than everybody else. So, to see, especially Carl Albert, like we just talked about, I mean, for them to be in 5A is kind of, it definitely plays to their own strengths as well, since 5A is one of the, I guess you could say, less deeper conferences as well. So, I mean, it's nothing that even them shutting out teams, like the fact that a team still has yet to score. I mean, and it's not like they're shutting out scrubs either. They're shutting out Stillwater, one of the most electric offenses.
And that team turned around
and scored.
Yes, they turned around and scored 60-some points this week.
Yeah, exactly.
And got shut out last week on their homecoming. Woo!
Exactly, on their home turf, right?
Yeah,
man.
So, it's just crazy to see what Coach Dunn has been able to do over there and maintain, and just like you just talked about, like the open door, revolving door of talent that comes in and out of that program is kind of insane. And and then they have the OU to Carl Albert, pipeline over there as well. So it's really, really special what Coach Dunn has been able produce.
And you got to give it to him. He's at his offensive coordinator, Coach Johnson, for a while. So, it just tells you right now, man, people want to come play for him. It's fun. The fan base is good. The parents, it's a family, though, man. And like I said, Coach Jones has done a good job what he's doing. Midwest City's kind of down. I hope Hall can get it back. I talked to Coach Thomas this morning, man. I just hope Midwest City can get it back, a place where I played at. And it's just down right now. And you got those two schools in Middale doing the things they're doing, and no one's going to the Midwest City. And then, somebody asked me, like, how? I had some alumni crying because they got smashed by Dale City. What are we going to do to take it get back? I don't know, man. I really don't know, because right now you got to play catch up. You're playing catch up to two power horses right now already in 5A. The only thing I think Midwest City could do is hopefully go down to 4A, and maybe they can go win. Because right now you having all three of them in 6A. Not 6A, but 5A. It's going to be hard for Midwest City to win a state championship. Not with those guys right now. It's going to be those two right now. And like I said, you talk about everybody's behind. There's no way Midwest City can catch up right now. Not right now. It'll take some time, but hopefully they can get it turned around, man. Once a bomber, always a bomber. But I'm just telling you right now, it's the days of the black and gold bomber magic. It's not here like it used to be.
Yeah. I haven't got. I think the very first game I covered here was the Midwest City game. And they played Carl Albert, ironically. And I'm sure you know how that transpired or how everything went with that. But yeah, I've heard a lot about Midwest City and their background. I haven't, like I said, I'm not too familiar with what they've been able to produce and put together this year on the field. But I know that they, like you just kind of talked about, they're a powerhouse back in the day. So in their basketball team, obviously, been a powerhouse since Tori Noel has got there in the past year. So. I think that obviously that's the Middale area with Carl Albert, Dale City, and Midwest City. I think that there's a lot of prestigious talent and history over there. So I want to see Midwest City turn things back around, and I think that they can with Coach Durrell. I think is his name. What's his last name? Sorry,
Coach Hall, Durrell Hall.
Coach Hall. Yeah, I was about to say Durrell Hall. So I think they'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Then you finish up, and like I said, we finished up on 5A. Then you got Bishop McGinnis getting a win over Classen, 63-0. Really don't know how good Bishop McGinnis is. They only got one loss, but to a good team, Deer Creek. Then and you got Guthrie. I think they got a couple losses. They get a win over John Marshall, 40-48. But I don't think Guthrie where they were last year. So I think Carl Albert's next toughest game will be Guthrie, but it's at the Rock. But I think. Carl Albert probably still beats them by 2 or 3 touchdowns. They might give up their first point, but because you were in Guthrie, because what happens in Guthrie stays in Guthrie. But I just don't think that Guthrie's the team that you're going to be fighting. After what Dale City did to them last year in the playoffs, I don't think Guthrie's recovered from that.
Yeah, a lot of talented players graduated. Nate Benford and Jalen Harper and a few other people as well. So I know it's tough, but. Like that place, the Rock, I will say, out of all the places that I've covered games at, the Rock is probably obviously the most unique and probably the most favorite. Like you talk about Chris Evans and Phil over there and Ronnie over there, the way that they cover everything, they've been great to me. So I love going to the Rock and covering the game. So I probably will be at that Guthrie and Carl Albert game.
Yeah. Going over to 4A, we talked about Blanchard a little bit. Blanchard gets the win over my man Chris Blink over at Harrod, man. It seemed like it was for the longest it was 7-7. Harrod's a team that I like. They got a great running back in Titus Jackson, man, a young man that I really like. I think Harrod got some guys up and coming, man. They got a good quarterback. I think he just signed to go play D1. McLaughlin, Joey McLaughlin, I think he just signed to go play D1 baseball. I think either ORU or one of the teams. I know he signed to go play baseball, but he's a big time. And they got a little receiver Palmer. So they got some guys, man. They got a young up and coming quarterback. You keep your name. Remember this young man's name. You're gonna see. You heard it from me. His name is Kyle. Just a freshman, but he's just a great athlete, man. The kid can play both sides of the ball. He plays a little bit of safety for him, but he's also a great quarterback. He can run and throw. So, good kid, man. Good family. I'm just telling you, man, this young man, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody try to come steal this young man because he is a great athlete, man. I watched him backpedal, and I just fell in love with his feet, man. You got feet like that, man, you can go do a lot of big things. So, but, Coach Blink, he got some guys up and coming, that 8th grade team. Some of the sophomore and some of them young guys are coming up. Got a big kid in Brock Day, linebacker, plays a little bit. He plays running back, but he's more of a fullback, H-back guy. But, they got some guys over there. Harrah got to win out to try to get them. I mean, not win out. They still got a tough schedule, but they got to they got to finish fourth to get in the playoff, man. And Blinks, he's kind of senior heavy with 22 seniors. So this is the year you're going to do it because next year will be kind of rebuilding. But like I said, I think by the time Cal is a junior and senior, that team can be good out there in Harrah.
Yeah, I haven't got a chance. I got to come out and see you guys, man. I haven't got a chance to get out and see them yet, man.
No. Like I said, they're a team in 4A, man. I mean, like so when you're talking about Blanchard and Tuttle and Bethany and all those teams, it's hard to it's hard to kind of to put those guys in the spotlight. I got a chance to do their media day, so I get a chance to know a lot of these kids. But they're going to be good. They're going to be a team up and coming. Blink's a good coach, man, a young coach. If you see him, you probably think he's one of their players. But they're like I said, they're a good little team, man. They're going to be fine. I mean, like I said, Titus is a kid, young man, like to get a scholarship. I think he could be one of the best backs in the state, and he plays on both sides of the ball, and he goes full speed every time he gets a chance. But young man, like I said, somebody's going to get a chance, take a chance to get him. They're going to be pretty salty. Like I said, then you look at Bethany gets the win over Chickasha, 52-14. Talk about Wagner over Fort Gibson, 53-14, and Tuttle all over Ardmore, 48-7. So Poto's a team that we that's in 4A that can do some damage too. They get the wheel over Stillwell, 28-13, and then like I said, we talked about Elgin putting up big numbers over Woodward, 63-63. Then here's another team, Cushing. I mean over Skytook.
Yeah.
I mean that a couple years ago, and they had a quarterback, Blaze. You remember Blaze? I don't know. You might not have been here when Blaze was around. Cushing was a team that should have won a state championship. They didn't. Yeah. But they get the win over Skytook 35. Then you got Weatherford getting the upset over Clinton.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
21-10. So that just tells you Oklahoma football is strong, though, man. Week in and week out, somebody can get it. We'll finish up in 3A. You got Pauls Valley. Pauls Valley got a good running back that came in. I think he came in from Davis.
No, he came in from Wynniewood.
Wynniewood, okay. Big time running back, man. Yeah.
Baylor commit.
Yeah, I mean, he gets to, Pauls Valley, I think they might be undefeated. They get the win over Kingfisher, 43-40. This is a guy that we really love a lot over Bristow. I think this is big time. He gets a win over, over Victory Christian.
Coach Cole.
Coach Cole, he was over at Bigsby. He was a defensive back coach. He becomes the head football coach over at Bristow. So anytime he can get a win, I think he's sitting at 2-2. So love to give him a shout out. He gets a win over Victory Christian, 31-20. Plainview over Purcell, 40-10, and Sulphur over Perkins, Tryon, 48-0. Lincoln Christian, it's a team that's always tough in 3A. Get the win over Stingler. Then Heritage Hall, have you got a chance to watch Heritage Hall? I think they're.
I have not. No, we sent. That's why it's
hard to get to. It's hard, man.
Yeah,
it is.
There's so many games and it's so spread out and everything.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, but I know Coach Brogert. He's done a great job over there. I saw that they beat Millwood.
Yeah, Millwood last week. And that was a great game, man. We had Millwood's quarterback on the show last week. Young man CJ, man. I mean, he's getting some big time offers and stuff like that. Real smart kid too. So got a big game this week. You got Millwood versus Jones. Whoever wins that game end up being a 2A district championship because both teams should win out the rest of their games. But a game I would love to go to, but I won't be here in town. I'm taking my son to Ohio State versus Iowa for his birthday. Me and his girlfriend and her father. So, but then I got to turn around and fly right back for my granddaughter's birthday. I can't miss it. So, if that's the case, I'll be in trouble.
I get that. I hear you on that one.
Anything else before we let you go, man? We appreciate you coming on, man.
Man, I was gonna probably say this after I got off here, but I really do appreciate you for reaching out and having me on here, man. I was, like I told you, usually it's a lot of competition, people that don't want you on their stuff or like looking over their shoulder, thinking that So I do appreciate, especially people that look like us.
Yes, 100.
I don't see
100.
I don't see a lot of people, in this industry. Since I moved to Oklahoma, there's not a lot of black writers or black media here. So I try to tap in and make sure that I can tap in with all the people that look like me, all the people that's kind of paved the way, I guess you could say, in Oklahoma high school media to make a make room for a guy like me coming in here.
No.
That's
Glad you
some
here, man.
uncharted territory.
As soon as like I said, as soon as I get off, I'll retweet it. I use my special guest this week. Me and Big E started this a while back. We had another guy that used to work for Oklahoma. He might have worked for the Daily Oklahoma back in the day. His name was R.T. Sherman, and he still does a lot with me on the side. He'll send me some stuff. He's declined. Behind closed doors. He just had boy played at Oklahoma State and Southern Sun wrestled, but he had to take care of business at home. But he's still a big lover of me and Big E, and my brother Jonah that helps us with the show. And Jonah can't do it every week because he has his kids, but RT's a silent spoker, great writer, just probably like yourself. Just he knows the business, man, and he helps me try to promote this business. He's taught me a lot. I'm telling you a lot that tagging everybody, trying to tag kids, because that's what it's all about. You start tagging the kids and they see you're talking about them, man, they get excited, man. That's all it is. It takes one.
Exactly.
I tell people all the time, if my YouTube channel was like my Twitter page, I'd be making a ton of money. I got a bunch of people following me on Twitter. Now I just started this girls basketball. It's even went more. I got more girls following me than I even know I can shake a stick at. But, I'm going to get to know these girls, and so I'm double dipping now. So I go from writing one show, then I got to go turn around and try to write the basketball show. And luckily, Coach J. Vick helps me a lot, and Ethan knows what it's like now doing his own show. And you know what it's like, man. You probably spend a ton of time in front of the computer writing and getting to learn everything, We can sit and talk sports all day long, but the thing is, people lose their interest after an hour. So I try to keep the show. We went a little bit longer today, but hey, that's okay because I got a great guest on with me. I hope everybody listens to every word that we say because we're talking about all different high schools here. So, man, and I, like I said, anything I can help you to get your job up and make you big and more popular here in Oklahoma is family, brother. It ain't me trying to take no bread from your table. It's me trying to get more bread on your table. So, and that's what it's all about with me, man. 'Cause like I said, I do this in my studio in my house. Me and he built this, man, and like I said, I love this young man to death. He's like one of my sons. He's the same age as my sons. He played with my son. So it's funny how we started is we got to talking, and he said, I'm going to school for this. I said, man, we should start a podcast. And we started at his dad's place, and we built this together. Now he's doing his thing, and I get to do a second thing with girls, man. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited about having you on because it's like I said, at the end of the day, it's all about us getting better and getting these kids' names out there and help them get recruited and help them get noticed.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm like, I really do appreciate you, especially now because, I know, like I already said on here, I know I want to get to the next level, go cover colleges and NBA eventually one day. And I know, at this level, it's probably the most intimate you can get with a lot of these, players and coaches. And you got to go through SIDs and other PR teams. And, it's just been great to actually just be able to sit down and get to know not only the players and the coaches, but, some of these people's families and, where they come from and their upbringing and how different everybody is, and just being able to tell unique stories on it. So that's been my favorite part of everything. Like I said, I appreciate you for letting me come on the show today and help put my name out there some more. So I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, brother. Safe trip back to OKC, and we'll do it again, man. Like I said, we'll have you on the girls show, man. We can talk girls high school basketball, me, you, and Coach V, and get it going, man. And like I said, go catch a couple games together, man. We both got that media pass that gets us in free, so we might as well use it while we can.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
All right. I'll see you. Appreciate you, Tony.
No problem. Bye-bye. Well, folks, that's the big-time writer for the
Oklahoma.
I'll keep wanting to say Daily Oklahoma because that's how it tells you my age.
That's
how old I am, folks. We kind of went over our deal. We're supposed to have Coach Jones. I'm about to catch him next week, but I can't.
You probably don't want to talk about the Cowboys today.
Yeah. But we'll, real quick, man, we're going to just run down some top games and get out of here, and I'm going to make it quick as hell. So,
well, in 6A1, the couple to talk about, you already mentioned it earlier, Bixby and Moore. That game should be a little bit interesting. I think a lot of people are going to pick Bixby to win this game. I think I'm going to pick Bixby to win this game, but I think it could be a little bit closer than what people are anticipating. Then another big game in 6A1. You got Union and Owasso, probably the biggest matchup so far this year. Interested to see if Union will be able to, be the first to kind of put a fork in Owasso's road to the state championship. And then move on to 6A2. Talked about it earlier. Choctaw versus Putnam City. Choctaw coming off a win against Piedmont. That runs that flex bone, always a tough team to prepare for and everything. They're coming off of that win in Putnam City. They seem to be trending in the right direction, so that should be an interesting game there. And then you go to 5A. In 5A, Let's see what we got.
5A, I had Carl Albert versus El Reno's.
Yeah.
Carl Albert's homecoming, so come out and support the Lady Titans. I think you should have some special guests in the audience. You should know podcast might be sitting in the crowd, so if you see those people, give them a little wave. Tell them that Keep It 100 sent you over to get a picture taken with them, man. Get your shirt signed, whatever it takes. But then you got Midwest City versus Newcastle in that game, and then it should be a tough game. One of those teams are fighting to get in the playoffs, so hopefully Midwest City can knock off Newcastle. 4A, what you got, Big E? 4A.
4A, you got a couple of big games here. You got Cushing and Grove; they're both undefeated.
Yes, sir.
And then you got Bethany and Blanchard,
Yes, sir.
also both of them undefeated, and a few powerhouses are in the 4A division that have been pretty good for the past couple of years going at it.
And then 3, you got Pauls Valley versus Plainview. Pauls Valley, like I said, they got the Baylor commit running back that came over from Wynniewood. I thought it was Davis, but he came over from Wynniewood. And then 2A, you got Mount St. Mary, JD,
Reynolds.
Reynolds
He's
doing
done
job.
a great job with that
Great
program
job.
so far.
He got Chisholm this week, and then the other game is in 2A. You got Jones versus Millwood, and you got Davis versus Beggs, and then Kansas. Was that? White Doe? Who's that?
I have never even heard
Kansas
of that.
versus some team.
Wyandotte?
Wyandotte. I never knew that was in
Is that
Oklahoma.
Class A?
That's class 2A.
2A.
Because they got 2A1 and 2A2. So,
Yeah.
but like I said, a great show, man. Like I said, we went over a little bit when we wanted to go. But anytime you can get a guy like that to come on the show, you obviously he knows his coaches, knows his players, and he's a writer for Oklahoma. So he has to, not only like us, he has to write from 6A all the way down to A, but we stop at 2A, because so after those teams, I really don't know them, so I ain't gonna try to talk about them. I really don't know them. Just keeping it 100. But like I said, you can catch. We won't have a show next week. I'll be out of town. I'll be up in Ohio State, so we'll come back. But Big E drop his show on Friday morning.
Yep, Friday morning.
And once again, that's what.
The Sooner Summary.
Sooner Summer, subscribe, whatever it takes to get it. But listen to him, because like I said, he only gave us bits and pieces of the OU. He's going to give you the full flesh on Friday morning. But like I said, you can also catch us every Thursday morning. It'll probably be Friday, depends on how we shoot. Above Between the Lines, Oklahoma High School girls basketball. Me and Coach JV. Like I said, thank you to all our good sponsors. What is it? Chaos.
Yep, Chaos Customs,
Yeah.
Woo Wings,
Woo Wings,
Spiffy Cans.
Spiffy Cans. If nobody can, Spiffy can. I still got the voice. But we love you. Subscribe to us, folks. Both. All of them. Subscribe to them, man. Get us out there. Like I said, man, you heard what the man said. People fight. We don't. We love everybody. We want everybody to be on our team. So thank you, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. See ya.